All right, listen up. If you're young, ambitious, and just completely tired of hearing the same old advice about money, this is for you. We're going to break down a 5-stage process for building real wealth, a plan that's all about helping you finally take control.
So let's just kick things off with this. It's a pretty bold statement. The idea here is that society's normal path, the average job, one vacation a year if you're lucky, isn't just a little uninspiring, it's a trap. The problem isn't your ambition, it's that you're in a system that's designed to limit it.
So let's be honest for a second. Ask yourself this question. Are you drifting? Are you just kind of letting life happen to you, hoping a lucky break just falls in your lap? Or are you the one at the wheel, actually steering this thing where you want it to go?
Now, if that last question kind of stung a little, don't worry. That's what we're here for. The whole point of this is to lay out a really clear, actionable plan to break out of that drift and start building your own dream on your own terms.
Okay, so this brings us to this big idea called the lie of average. The message is simple. Wanting to be wealthy isn't some greedy desire. Money's a tool. It's a tool for freedom. The real goal is to stop settling for a system that's just pushing you to be, average.
All right, let's dive into stage 1. Stop drifting. This is, without a doubt, the most important first step for anyone out there who feels like they're stuck in a rut.
So, what does a drifter really look like? It's someone who doesn't have a proactive plan. They're just bouncing from one job to the next, side hustle, hoping, praying that something sticks. They're basically waiting for a winning lottery ticket instead of building the machine that prints them.
And this right here, this just captures the consequence perfectly. When you're drifting, you're not building your own dream. You're just a tool for someone else's. I mean, think about it. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, how can I make you rich today? The only person who's ever going to prioritize your success is you.
So here it is, the full roadmap. Think of this as your guide, taking you from drifting aimlessly all the way to real financial freedom. Now, let's get into stage 2.
Stage 2 is where you make a choice, a conscious decision to completely change your life's direction. It's called Get Obsessed, and it's that moment you finally decide to stop letting life push you around.
Now notice how we're talking about obsession here. This isn't some negative, unhealthy thing. No. In this context, it's a necessary, powerful focus. It's a hardcore commitment to one single difficult goal, building wealth.
So how do you get obsessed? Well, it all starts with a huge mindset shift. You have to stop saying things like money doesn't buy happiness and start seeing it for what it is, a tool for freedom. And this is crucial. You have to stop trying to do 12 different things at once. You can't train for a marathon, learn Japanese, and get rich all at the same time. You've got to lock in and focus on this one goal.
All right, moving on to stage 3, discovery. Once you have that obsessive focus, you need a real practical way to actually make money. This is where you find it.
And here's the key point. You do not need to invent the next Facebook. You don't have to be some kind of revolutionary genius. Discovery is all about finding a blueprint that's already proven to work and then learning how to follow it.
You get paid based on the value you provide. Simple as that. So the fastest way to become valuable is to learn from somebody who already is. Find a mentor, find someone with a course or a community, and use their path as a cheat code to skip all of their mistakes. Things like video editing, drop shipping, creating short-form content. These are all proven pathways you could start on right now.
And now for the action. Stage 4 is all about execution. It's about getting better, fast. It is time to accelerate.
Okay, this is the grind. This is where you take that blueprint you found and you practice and practice and practice. You have to be okay with being a beginner before you can ever become an expert. The whole goal is to close that gap between where your skills are now and the expert level you're shooting for. This slide shows one of the biggest secrets to getting better fast. You need the right kind of feedback. Your friends and your family, they're going to tell you you're doing great. But what you really need is constructive feedback from people who aren't afraid to tell you what's wrong. That is how you find your blind spots and improve at lightning speed.
And this stage can be really tough. It can be lonely. It often means you outgrow friends who just don't share your ambition. You're not quite at the level of the people you admire yet, but you've already left your old circles behind. This is the stage where most people quit. Pushing through this takes real, serious dedication.
And that brings us to the final stage, the big payoff. Achieve true freedom. But there's a really important twist here.
a twist that separates people who have temporary success from those who build lasting wealth. This slide makes probably the most important distinction of all. Being rich is about having a high income and just spending it, usually on things to impress other people. But being wealthy, that's a whole different game. That's about having true freedom. And you get it by reinvesting your money to build something that's going to last.
So how do you become wealthy? You start by seeing yourself as the #1 asset. You reinvest in your own skills. You reinvest in your businesses. You build multiple streams of income through passive things like stocks. You've probably heard it before, the poor spend to impress, but the wealthy invest to progress.
So we'll end with this final thought. Every single dollar you spend today on meaningless crap, you are literally stealing from your future self. It forces a choice, right? Are you building a life of temporary pleasure, or are you building a life of true, lasting freedom? The path is clear. The decision is yours.